Hi, this is Uwe, Delta Golf 2 Yankee Charlie Bravo. Yeah, release candidate 7 is ready for download. It brings significant improvements to the SuperFox system, therefore everyone is really highly recommended to update to this version as soon as possible. Either use our standard WSJT-X, which is this build, or use one of my improved versions, which have then the revision ID 240930 minus RC7. And in this case, I have here the improved plus version, meaning that with the standard WSJT-X improved graphical user interface. Okay, in this video, I like to show you the new features and how everything works. By the way, I have also summarized everything here in this email to you. To those of you who do not know how to get these emails, this is my announcement email, which I usually send via the WSJT-X improved community mailing list. You have to subscribe to this list one time and then you get messages like this one. Okay, let's start. Very important is, as we have introduced a new Fox and SuperFox verification system, you must now have OpenSSL version 1.1.1 or higher installed to get the real-time verification of Fox and SuperFox messages. So it is really recommended to install it as soon as possible. To make it easier for you, I have here provided you direct links to the installers of OpenSSL 1.1.1. Either if you have a 64-bit system and use a 64-bit version of WSJT-X or WSJT-X improved, you need this package, or in case you are working on a 32-bit operating system, or you have, for whatever reasons, you prefer to use the 32-bit version of WSJT-X or WSJT-X improved, then you would need the 32-bit version of OpenSSL 1.1.1. You can also have both installed at the same time. It is no problem. This is only required on Windows. Other operating systems like Linux or Mac OS usually have OpenSSL already installed. So this is only required when you are on Windows. By the way, when you download this installer and go through it, it will at its final page suggest to make a donation to the development team of OpenSSL. Of course, you are free to do so. However, this is purely optional. If you don't like that, just skip this last page and close the installer, because it is only required to have the two DLL files installed so that OpenSSL works properly on your system. Okay, what is new? Well, foremost, we have done some really noticeable enhancements to the SuperFox decoder. You will really experience it works now much better than it has been before. The visible difference for you is if you, for example, look here at the waterfall, you see that there is now the RX bar. There is now really here a difference of 1500 Hertz between the lower end and the upper end. And you see this bar here. And this shows you the so-called F-toll interval. This is this here, the F-toll value. You can now adjust the F-toll value by yourself. By default, it is set to 50 Hertz, which is a really good value. But you can even, for example, put it to 100 Hertz, and it is now displayed here. Look, this horizontal line is then getting wider. Or in certain situations where there is a lot of QRM, it might also be useful to go even below 50, for example to 20, or I used even 10 in one situation. That is now shown here directly on the white graph. I recommend 50 Hertz because usually it works pretty well with it. You have now also keep in mind that you must now tune exactly to 750 Hertz because otherwise you would not get SuperFox signals decoded. And to make it easier, if you come from another value, let's assume you have your RX frequency set to this value. It is now programmed in a way when you now change to super hound mode, it will automatically switch to 750 Hertz. Or to be more precise, to 750 Hertz plus minus 50 Hertz, because of course you can fine-tune exactly the RX frequency. If, for example, a SuperFox station has its sync signal not exactly at 750 Hertz but 759 Hertz or so, you can of course change it here just by clicking on the waterfall to fine-tune it exactly to this value. It is not possible to click on anything else than 700 to 800 Hertz. It is just to prevent that you accidentally click on that and you will not be able anymore to decode your SuperFox stations. You can, by the way, if for example you use your rig is not exactly on the frequency or you use a transverter or so, you can set your RX frequency to something else, but then it has to be done here via this spin box. No? If I now, for example, here via the spin box set it to 950 Hertz, of course it works. But to make it really run out of the box, it will be set to 750 Hertz when you switch to the super hound mode. This is the same, by the way, for the WSJT-X, the standard version of WSJT-X, with one exception. As you know, WSJT-X doesn't have this, these bars here, and therefore it works a little. And also, this left click sets the RX frequency, right click sets the TX frequency. This is here done in the old style. The way we had it before. Here you must you can click to 750 Hertz plus minus 100 Hertz, and if you click on a frequency, for example here at 1700 Hertz, you will be asked, do you really want that, yes or no? So that's the way how it was implemented here in our standard WSJT-X. But here I think it is really intuitive. If you switch here to the SuperHound mode, it will automatically be set to 750 Hertz, and you are prevented from accidentally clicking here on the waterfall and set it in a way that you can no longer decode it. One further difference is that the right-click event to toggle between SuperHound and Hound mode has now moved to the H button. Before we had that here on the FT8 button, but users found it would be more convenient to have that here on the H button. So a left-click on the H button toggles Hound or SuperHound mode on and off, and a right click on the H button now toggles between Hound and SuperHound mode. Quite convenient, and the same is here for our standard WSJT-X, and it also works, by the way, for when you are here in Fox mode and you right click on that, you can now go to the standard Fox mode or to the back to the SuperFox mode. So just right click on the H button now, toggles between Fox and SuperFox or Hound and SuperHound mode. I had here on this function this feature that right-clicking brings you toggles the last used contest mode on and off. I have now moved that to the FT8 button. So here, like the tooltip suggests, right click to toggle last used contest mode on and off is now on the FT8 button, and on the Hound button, right click to activate or deactivate SuperFox mode. Alright, and what is not visible here, the decoder is now much more tolerant when there is QRM. So really the decoding performance has been improved quite a lot. Alright, and the second new feature here is that we are now introducing a new Fox or SuperFox verification system. You may have heard that the old one has been attacked by some hackers, and for that reason we completely skipped that old verification system and replaced it by a new one. The advantage of this new system is that it works both for the SuperFox mode and for the Fox mode. And how does it work? Well, it is described here. Fox or SuperFox stations send individual one-time passwords, OTPs, via radio. Hounds receiving that automatically check the validity of the received OTPs in real time from a server when there is an internet connection. In case you don't have an internet connection, you can do it afterwards, so that you can also check then was it a genuine Fox or not. But when you have an internet connection and when you have OpenSSL, don't forget that, properly installed, you will see, like before, these verified messages, and it more or less looks the same as it was before. The trick is that these messages can only be retrieved from this server once the transmission has already been completed. So it is not possible to get such an OTP before it has been transmitted, so it's quite easy. Yeah, let's show you here how it works. To enable that, there is a checkbox here. Look, go to Settings and to the Advanced page, and when you start it for the very first time, you have to enable this OTP system just by checking this checkbox here, OTP checkbox. It is then remembered. You will not have to touch it again, but for the very first time you have to check it here so that it is enabled. And then you see, if you here click on Hound, these controls are shown. These ones are hidden. If you go to Fox, then these ones are shown and these ones are hidden. So let's start with the controls for the Fox operator. A Fox operator has then to enter a key because this OTP system needs a key, and also his call sign has to be registered at this server, otherwise it wouldn't work. Then the Fox operator can select here the interval at which the OTP messages are sent. Usually it is useful to send it with every message, so the default value is 1. This means that every message will automatically send out a verification message. However, as this also works if you are in the normal Fox mode, and then the OTP messages will need another slot, which, as we all know, reduces the signal strength. It might there be make sense to switch it, for example, here to 3 or so that every third message would be verified. This saves a little bit the number of slots. But for the SuperFox mode, of course, it is highly recommended to set it to 1. For you as a hound or super hound station, this is not interesting at all. For you, it is just interesting whether you want to show these OTP messages or not. Default is that it is not shown, that this checkbox is not checked. Then the verification just runs in the background and you just see the verification message, the result of the verification. I will show you in a minute. Well, then there is here the OTP URL. This is the URL where this server is located. Theoretically, a SuperFox station can set up his own server. But of course, we highly recommend to use one for all. And for that reason, Brian has established this server, and it is highly recommended, of course, to use it for all the expeditions. So again, when you start it for the first time, enable here special operating activity, likely the SuperFox mode, Hound. Just switch here OTP on and leave the rest as it is by default. Okay, then just start here calling CQ. I have, like always, here two instances of the program running. To the left, as mentioned before, WSJT-X, the standard version, and to the right, WSJT-X Improved Plus in this case. And both instances are connected via virtual audio, so nothing goes over HF. We can simulate here all the QSOs we want to simulate. Look, now the SuperFox signal comes. It is then received, and you see, of course, here also then the DG2YCB verified message. Important is now you can no longer call the Fox blind or blindly. It is not possible to enter here a call sign and then enable TX. You must double click on a received message. This is very important. And it is necessary to prevent QRM by dozens of OMs who are just calling and calling and calling and calling and never heard the SuperFox, which then, by the way, causes not only the QRM, but it causes the SuperFox to send out replies to your station, which will never ever receive a response from you, and so the QSO rate drops a lot for the true SuperFox. All right, so as you have seen now here, the look and feel, if you like, is more or less like we had it before. This verification works in a way as explained, but is visible in the same way as it was before. Let's switch here the OTP, show OTP messages on, and then you will see in the next over how such an OTP verification message looks like. You can do that. It makes sense, especially if you like to verify it afterwards when you have no internet connection. Otherwise, it is perhaps better to leave it hidden. Look, this is here such a verification message, and once it is received, the server is now automatically queried, and when the verification is okay, then this DG2YCB verified is then received. Okay, as I mentioned before, this also works here for the standard Fox, the old style Fox mode. So let's go back to the old style Fox and Hound operation, switch it here to Fox mode and switch it here to Hound mode. Let's call CQ again. Now you see the old style Fox and Hound system works, and it looks like this. You see that a second slot is now needed for the verification message. This is the verification message for the old style Fox and Hound system. If I leave show OTP messages unchecked, you will see it in the next over, then it looks more or less exactly like we had it from the SuperFox mode. This is quite convenient because then all the verification stuff is run in the background and you don't have to take care of that anyway. Okay, that's more or less the most important differences. There are also some other improvements which is summarized here, and yeah, I think you can read it afterwards. I have also added for you here a small tutorial so that you can read it here in this email, what needs to be done and how everything works. And when you want to check your system, is it operational, yes or no, then I have here also put 2 links in this description which lead to audio files. This one here is for the SuperFox, SuperHound mode, and this is for the old style Fox-Hound mode. So you can just open these files and see if you get this DG2 YCB verified message shown. All right, that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. In case you have questions, just ask them via the forums or via this WSJT-X community list. And I hope you enjoy these. If there are some troubles, let us know. We have tested this system, by the way, and it brought now really for the SuperFox mode QSO rates of 350 per hour, 350 QSOs per hour. Just imagine that. It's really really impressive, and it was confirmed that now a SuperFox signal brings indeed round about 10 dB system gain compared to a 5-stream old style Fox and Hound operation. So it's quite helpful. Yeah, some final words. After some discussion, we have decided now to bring you this new version, this release candidate 7, in fully open source code, and also to make it possible for testing that everyone can transmit in SuperFox mode, of course not with this verification system, but in a non-verified SuperFox mode. Now it's up to you to use it in a responsible way. It's no longer our task to prevent you from pirates and so on. It's really up to you. Let's see if the ham radio community is mature enough to deal with this situation. I really keep my fingers crossed, and yeah, we should do the same. All right, this was Delta Golf 2 Yankee Charlie Bravo 73. Bye bye.